Well, Josh, thanks for sparing us some time this evening. You've signed on again.
Yeah, here again. Stuck with me for another season at least, or 2 seasons. Yeah.
2 seasons, yeah. I mean, Douse has been very public since the end of last season, really, that you were going to be his number one on his target list or hit list or whatever we want to call it. And he's also said in an interview with us this afternoon that you were no problem. It was all very easy. It was just give me the paper and I'll sign it. Is that true, or is he?
Yeah, no, that is fairly true. I think it's been that way for the last few years with Douse. It's always a case of I don't want to go anywhere else. I enjoy my football. Things have gone well, and obviously last season it went well for me personally and for us as a team. We achieved promotion, got to the third round of the FA Cup, and for me personally as well, I won all the awards at the awards
You
evening.
did.
So it was a good year. There's no reason for me to leave. I want to stay on, and it's a no-brainer. Where else would I go?
I hope you won't mind me asking this. Did you actually get any approaches from any other clubs?
I didn't know. Phone didn't ring once.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I would say. But you've made
need to get an agent, I think.
Oh, not if you're dealing with doubts. Probably not the best idea. 2 years, was that your suggestion or his?
It was his suggestion,
Right.
but it was a mutual thing. Something that I've been looking for. I think it gives me security for the next 2 years, and as I've said, we want to build something here. Dallas wants to be here for at least the next 2 years, and so do I. So let's see what we can do.
Sure. And I guess a fairly serious question is, how is this all going to fit in with your job?
It's fine. No issues at all. I think if you look at what we're doing training wise, there's going to be no difference between this year and what we did last year. So that's not an issue. And then the games we've got travelling up on a Friday evening or a Saturday morning. It's after work. Work are really great as well. They've been fantastic with me, and flexible working. You don't have to be in the office to be working. You can work from different places. So it's it's not going to be an issue at all, and it should be fine.
You don't worry that you're going to be burning the candle at both ends a little bit and wear yourself out?
No, not at all. I don't think so. I think it's in your mind at some stage. I think you've got the football and the work are two different stresses on the mind and the body, so they counteract each other really, and it's a good balancing act to have.
Right, fair enough. Good answer. Something I'm saying to everyone that in these particular interviews, Douse has been very public that he's signing people with a point to prove. So, what do you think your point to prove is?
That I can play at this level while still having a good job. I think you've got a lot of teams at this level that are full time now. We're the only part time one, I believe, next season.
Mm-hmm.
People say that the National League is effectively League 3 because everyone's full time, and that there's no way you can do it as a part time team, and also there's no way you can do it while having a full time job. So, I love proving people wrong, and I think that's going to be my point to prove this year, that I can play at this level whilst also having a job and a career outside of football.
Yeah, sure. No, that's exactly what he suggested, I think, because this will be the highest you've played, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can we go back in time? We spoke when you first signed, but I don't remember asking you about your very early days as a footballer. Were you captain of the primary school team? I bet you were.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, of
so I
course
was
you were.
captain all through my youth really,
Right.
and then I was at don't really want to say it, I was at Aldershot for 2 years as a scholar from 16 to 18. Didn't work out there. I went to Salisbury, and then from there on Bashley and Kingstonian with Douse, and that's when obviously my time with Douse started, and it's carried on from there through Kingston, Kingstonian, Hampton, and now Woking.
Yeah. Before Aldershot, where were you playing schoolboy stuff? So to speak?
At my local club. So I was playing at my local club, played for Aldershot, sort of junior teams, 15 and 14, had various trials at places like all kids do really.
Right.
But no, I never was part of an academy system.
So where were you living at that time, if you don't mind me asking?
Ascot's.
Okay.
Yeah, home.
Okay. And so talking about the role as captain, this is something I've asked Douse about before, specifically in terms of you personally and your relationship with him, because it seems to me, based on my experience of various teams over the years at this football club, that his relationship with you as the captain is pretty different to most, in that I think he expects an awful lot more of you in that role than many other managers do. I think lots of other managers think the captain goes out and tosses a coin or calls heads or tails, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And maybe leads by example on the pitch. But it's not quite the same, is it?
No, it's not quite the same. Although I do win a lot of coin tosses, so yeah, good at that. But no, it is different with Dallas. I think there's a lot more required of the captain and a lot more expected of me. So various different things throughout the week, speaking to him and different players, and sort of having open and honest conversations with him both ways about how I think things are going and what I think we need. So it's a good relationship. Obviously Dallas is the boss, and a lot of the time I have to be the ear that listens to his unhappiness at how we've performed at the weekend or what he thinks has gone wrong. So I bear the brunt of that and hopefully take some of the flack away from the lads and protect some of the players. And then it goes both ways, trying to sort of make sure that I'm that person between Douse and the players that passes the messages across and make sure everyone's getting along and everyone's on the right page.
Sure. It seems to me from talking to him that he expects even more than that from you, though, in that he expects you to have quite a proactive role amongst the players, not just be an interface and a message carrier, if you like. That he expects you to sort of almost keep people in line and make sure things are happening or aren't happening.
I think that's the case in this dressing room that we've got. I think there's a few of us who sort of try and make sure there's no bad eggs. I think that the last 4 or 5 years now that I've been with Dallas, we've had changing rooms where everyone gets on and everyone's on the same page, and that's massively important. I think you look at a lot of change rooms that are successful, whatever level it's at, whether it's the Premier League or the Ryman Prem, you've always got changing rooms where there's lots of team spirit and everyone's
Sure.
happy. So it's my job. Also, there's a few other players that have been around for a while who will weed out the bad eggs and make sure they're not here for long, because I think it's crucial that you've got everyone pulling in the same direction. You can't have anyone poisoning the atmosphere.
Yeah, sure. And he calls them minders, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So you're the chief minder.
I don't think I'm big enough built to be a minder, but yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, interestingly, he's talked to us about how Christian Jolly's going to remain involved, and he's going to be a sort of one of the minders as well. And he isn't very big either, is he? So
he's a great person though. He's someone that you
Yeah.
definitely want around. I think if you don't let someone with his personality and his character walk out the changing room, if you keep them involved, you've got to keep them involved, because they're good people and they're the sort of people that you do want to keep around.
yeah, absolutely. And the thing I've got written down here, you've sort of covered it a little bit. I've written, do you have any influence on recruitment and selection, given that you do have this especially close relationship?
No, I wish I did. No influence on that at all. Dallas is the manager, and he's got Ian and Martin with him, who are great coaches and have got more knowledge of the game than I'll ever have. So I think if it comes to a point where anyone's asking me for selection or recruitment advice, then something's gone seriously wrong.
But
And we wouldn't be anywhere near as successful as we'd have been, because I'm not the best at that. I'd get sacked after 2 months at Football Manager, so I think I'll be very good at picking the team.
But do you not ever get asked, have you someone you might have played with in the past?
So I think there's sometimes that'll happen, but it's rare. Douse and Ian have got so many contacts in the game that they know more players than I do. So it's quite rare. As much as I'd love to take credit for helping to pick the team or be involved in it, I've never had anything to do with it.
Sure. Okay. You've mentioned rightly that you won, I think it was 5 Player of the Season awards here
Yeah.
for last season. You didn't get in the league's team of the year though.
No.
Was that a surprise to you? Don't be modest. It was to me.
It is and it isn't. I think that I've never been in a team of the year, so I think I obviously won all the awards here last season,
And you also won
Player of the Month. But I think anything that involves a manager vote, I'm not going to get into, unfortunately, just because of the nature of how I play and the sort of altercations and what kind of player I am. People tend to, if I'm not on their team, not like me, which is something I've come to terms with. So no, I think if I'm being honest, I would have hoped to be in and around the team of the year, but I'm not surprised I'm not for those reasons.
You've been reading my crib sheet, haven't you? Look, it says there, manager's vote. Is that significant?
Yeah, I think
You've answered that before I've had the chance to.
Yeah,
to
I
ask
think
you.
I don't think I'm well liked by other managers and players in the league, but it's fine with me.
Of course, you got promoted and they haven't, in the vast majority of cases. Obviously.
You said it, not me.
Okay, turning to next season, whole different set of teams to visit, grounds to play at, and so on and so forth, which as you've already said, is outside your experience at the moment. Is there any particular club that you're especially looking forward to playing at in terms of playing in that stadium, that environment?
Yeah, I think you look at the big clubs like Notts County. I think that's going to be incredible to play against. I think they're one of the oldest football teams.
Yeah, they are.
Around, is that right? You probably know that
Yes.
more than me. But yeah, they're playing them will be incredible. You've got so many big teams in that league. You look at Chesterfield as well, even Stockport, and the likes of Barnet and Fylde, who just missed out on promotion as well. There's some massive teams in that league, and I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Notts County's stadium is fabulous. It's absolutely amazing, and so is Stockport County's. That's an incredible stadium as well. Barnet and Fylde are both new grounds, as you probably know, so not quite the same atmosphere. But and Wrexham is a fantastic place to go.
Yeah, I've forgotten about Wrexham. Yeah, long way.
Yeah, and is there any particular team, as opposed to the stadium and the ground and so on, that you're keen to match yourself against?
Not so much to match ourselves against. I think it'll be good to see how far we've come to test ourselves against the teams that were up there last season. So the likes of Fylde, obviously, and then the Notts County that are coming down. I'll also know the media guy at Fylde from my time at Hampton. So it'll be good to get one over on them, just to be able to give him a bit of grief as well.
We've only ever played up there once and we won, so
bodes well, doesn't
so
it?
we can do it again.
Yeah.
Have you got any friends playing in other teams that it'd be nice to come up against?
Yeah, I've got a couple of friends at Barnet, so Dan Sweeney and the Taylor brothers as well, who were there. So a couple there, and then Harold at Dagenham, who's moved from Maidenhead to Dagenham, who's a very, very, very good player. So I think there's a lot of good players at that level. So it'll be an interesting season.
It will. And what's your objective for the season personally?
Play as many games as I can. I think this season I made 53 starts, I think it was roughly. So I think the goal will be to play as many games as I can, be consistent, and hopefully as a team we can achieve something close to what we achieved last season, which is all relative. I think avoiding relegation would be an incredible achievement for us, but that's what we've got to aim for.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a sort of very lower quality objective, but I couldn't agree with you more. Fifth from bottom will be a triumph, I think, next season.
Yeah, 100%. I think you look at the fact we're part-time, everyone else is full-time. I think you look at the wages that are being paid by some teams, it's ridiculous, and it is almost a League 3. It is a professional league, so it's a massive test for all of us. But at the same time, I think based on last season, we thrived when our backs were against the wall and people were doubting us, which they did all season. So I think we should come into our own.
Absolutely, and have very, very definitely earned the right to be there and compete.
Yeah, 100%.
Great. Well, looking forward to next season already, as always, because you're filled with hope before the first match, aren't you?
Yeah.
And anyway, thanks for your time again this evening.
No worries.
Delighted to see you sign on again.
Me too. Thank you.